Howdy, everybody. This is Susan with Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks.
Howdy. I'm Monica.
You know, it's funny that I always say howdy, and I literally say howdy, and then I'm like, it's so quintessential Texan, right, to say howdy. And then I realize that whenever I say howdy outside of Texas, people are like, you from Texas? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she always says howdy. Always.
I don't even know where I got that from.
I don't know either. Occasionally, I've even caught myself saying howdy back. It's a habit we don't want to get into.
It's not a bad one. There are worse ones.
There are worse ones.
We'll take the not-so-worse one.
Well, you'll take the not-so-worse one. I tend to use hola a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I use
yeah.
hola.
Yeah. I'm just howdy.
Hola.
So today, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
We are Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks, where we highlight the natural, the cultural, and the...
Historical. My
Monica's
favorite part.
the things around us in this world, right?
Yes.
We like to highlight those and tell the stories about these places. And today's place is one of my favorite parks.
They're all your favorite parks, but please go on.
I would say this is actually probably in my top 5.
Really?
Because it's fascinating.
Okay.
Petrified Forest National Park.
Excellent.
You know, what's funny about this place is that I had taken many trips west out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And generally when you're going west out of Texas, you're going to eventually either going to take 10 or you can get up to 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have I ever stopped at this park? No. Hadn't stopped. And as many times as I've traveled out of the state of Texas, it took me until 2022 to actually stop.
Where is it?
It's off of IH-40. It's off of an interstate. It's in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just inside Arizona.
You know, the minute you say Petrified Forest, Ricky Lee Jones has a song. I cannot remember the name of it, but she uses the words Petrified Forest in the lyrics. I'm going to have to go look that up.
I have no idea.
Oh, I love Ricky Lee Jones.
I do too, but I don't know that song. Other than Chucky's in love.
Why? I should not bring up music. I just shouldn't.
I have a tune for just about anything. So.
I know. We all learned that. We all learned it.
That's right. It doesn't take much to set me off. So anyhow, we're talking about Petrified Forest National Park. And the reason why I thought it was significant is that, again, I've driven this highway a gazillion times. And past the sign that says Petrified Forest National Park, scooched right by it. But in 2022, we're going down the highway because we're on our way to the Grand Canyon. Going down the highway, and we're like, there's a park. We should probably stop in. I'm like, I wonder how far off it is. And somebody in the car was like, it's not that far off the highway. It literally is not far off the highway. It, literally is not. So it is a place that is easy to get to right off the highway. And then it's basically a driving tour. It literally is designed in a way that allows you to see an awful lot and do a lot from, in your car, stopping, taking pictures, whatever. Easy to do that because it's like I want to say it's like a 26-mile road or something like that takes you through Petrified Forest with places to stop off and all. And, there are hikes there as well, but it was just such a pretty cool thing to stop and go, okay, let's go. Wow. And we went.
Cool.
So we're going to talk about that today.
Awesome.
Because up until that point that I have gone, now I've gone 3 times. Up until that point, I was like, I don't really understand what petrified wood, petrified forest. I don't understand really what the significance of all of this is. So do you know what petrified wood is?
I mean, I know what it is because...
Because why? Pray tell. The sins of Monica.
I have never been to the Petrified Forest.
She's not been to a lot of places, but she has stuff.
I have a piece of petrified wood that probably came from the Petrified Forest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention any names again. If you've watched one of our past episodes, you will know that one of my family members, who is no longer with us,
they've been absolved and in heaven, probably.
Had a piece of petrified wood, and it just so happens that I have it now.
It's like an heirloom.
It is an heirloom.
And if you think about petrified wood, it is like millions of years old. millions of years old, I tell you. Just know she's got it probably illegally. Or maybe not.
No, I did not get it illegally. It was left to me.
I don't know.
Now, if somebody else got it illegally, that's not my problem.
That's right. I got it legally.
I know that's not. I'm sorry. I'm going to divert a little bit.
Oh boy.
That's like the ladies recently they had been looking for this painting by who was it was art that was stolen during during World War II, during the Nazi era, and they knew that somebody had it. It had been spotted. Then they lost track of it, and you know how a lot of people went to Argentina. A lot of the Nazis ended up in Argentina. They never could find this photo. This was just recently in the news, like within the last month. The two daughters, I guess, or granddaughters of this man that they suspected had this art piece, put their house up for sale. One of them put the house up for sale, and of course, you know, when you put it up for sale, the real estate people go through and they take pictures and they do a video. Somebody spotted that art piece, that picture hanging in a sofa. Well, then the minute somebody spotted it, they called the police or whatever. By the time the police got over there, it was gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess somebody alerted them or let them know that they were after them, but they ended up turning it over, and I don't know if they were charged or what.
They were just happy to get the art back?
Well, no, I mean the daughters, they obviously knew what it was, or they wouldn't have removed it from the wall.
Yeah.
But I think they did return it, and anyway, so I guess it's not true that if you get it legally, but it's just a piece of petrified wood. I don't know if I don't even know if it came from the petrified forest.
Well, the petrified forest. So let's talk a little bit about the park first, right? So located in Arizona, not far right off of IH-40. It's a slam dunk just to be able to get there, right?
Yeah.
It was originally established as a national monument in 1906. So when it's established as a national monument, it is specifically for the fact that there are a lot of petrified wood here. There's a lot of petrified wood, right?
Okay.
Eventually, you know, as we are wont to do, we figure out, there's a little bit more here, so we might need to preserve a little bit more, and it becomes a national park, a big, what they call a crown jewel national park. So it's one of the 63 parks.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And it became one of the 63 parks in 1962 because not only was this one of the greatest deposits of petrified wood, but they also uncovered a lot of petroglyphs.
Oh, wow.
And other things that from like indigenous folks or, you know, folks who had lived there 13,000 years ago kind of thing, that they're like, we probably need to preserve a whole lot more space. And so it became an actual national park.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, so you think like in, 1906, it's like, okay, we're going to preserve the thing that we immediately see, but then it's like looking at it even more, they discovered a whole lot more, and then later, made it a national park.
I'm trying to remember. I've looked it up before, and obviously I'm getting old, and these things just jumble. All this information jumbles in the back of my mind. Petroglyphs and pictograms.
One is carved in the rock,
right, and one is
painted on the rock. A petroglyph, I think, is carved.
Okay, that's what I thought too. So are the petroglyphs carved in? Is there rock around there, like a canyon, something, or is it on the actual trees?
Not on the trees.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Although that's a really good question, but no, it's not on the trees.
Well, I was just curious because I was remembering the trees from the Glacier Bay.
Oh, where they
no.
It's on rock.
Okay.
In fact, as part of the driving tour, there's a place you stop and it's called Newspaper Rock, so we'll talk about that too. But this particular park, it gets less than 600,000 visitors a year, which surprises me because it literally is off a major interstate, right?
Yeah.
You would think there would just be more people that would stop off and go. But again, I'm guilty of driving right past it and never stopping because I'm like, who wants to go see a petrified wood?
Right.
Whatever, right? Well, I have to say, it's beautiful wood. It is beautiful in the color and everything else. But this place it's not very big, so a lot of people don't really go. But it's about 220,000 acres, so it's not large.
Right.
But the key part to this is that, you get off the highway, you go to the visitor center, and then you can start the driving tour and driving around and places for you to stop, get out, walk around, whatever. The first place that you go to is called the Painted Desert.
Okay.
Which is in the, what is it called? Is it the Chinle Formation? I think it's the Chinle Formation. The park sits in the center of this, what they call the Painted Desert, but this Painted Desert goes much further up in Arizona. It's like a large place. And the significance of why it's called the Painted Desert are the sheer colors and the different layers, and that as things have eroded and moved and upped and down and all that stuff, it's these different hues that you get, and there are just some beautiful picturesque places for you to take pictures.
I want to say that 10,000 Maniacs had a song about the Painted Desert.
Really?
I have to look.
Okay, how many references to songs has
I
she
don't know.
had? Me? Did I have any?
Sometimes
No.
they just pop up. You know, these little...
It's like a bad dream. It just keeps coming back.
No, the music is wonderful.
Of course.
I love 10,000 Maniacs.
I do too.
Okay, see?
Natalie Merchant, I'm on it.
Yeah, it was when Natalie Merchant was singing.
Yes.
I don't listen to him too much now. Nothing against him.
I don't even know if they're still together.
I don't know, but they changed lead singers after Natalie Merchant left. Of course, this was many years ago, but I digress.
Natalie is still putting out music, so
yes, she
go
is.
support her. Anyhow, as you go on this tour, you do the Painted Desert, and then, it just kind of goes around and stuff. But the key part is that there's these different little parts of the park. So you've got this Painted Desert area, you've got the petroglyph kind of area, then you've got the areas that have a ton of the petrified wood. And one of the things that I learned there, which I found fascinating, because that's my word, fascinating, is that you have to imagine this area as if it were Costa Rica today, that kind of a
rainforesty vibe?
Yes.
Oh,
lush,
okay.
green, tropical.
Okay.
This area was that 200 gazillion million years ago, back before, before the continental drift, that Pangea, whatever, broke up and everything, and we became the continents that we are today, that this is happening in that time frame, and these logs are the logs of that time that, went down into the water, and then, stuff gets inside, crystallizes, and you've got the volcanic ash that comes in, becomes sediment, whatever, and helps all this crystallization that takes place that creates these petrified logs.
So we had a rainforest in a desert at one time.
We had a rainforest. It eventually became a desert. Yeah. Not that it's a desert. I mean, it kind of is. It's very dry out there and all, but yeah.
Kind of.
Sing a song.
No, it's not a song. It's not a song. What was it? Now it just escaped me. The scene where Donald Sutherland and Pinto Bean from, come on, man, Animal House, are sitting there in the kitchen and they're getting high. Donald Sutherland is the professor and Pinto Bean is the student, and Donald Sutherland is trying to explain to him how there's an entire galaxy in your fingernail. And Pinto Bean's like, well, there's a whole world in my, in my fingernail. And he's like trying to grasp that concept. That was me just now, except that I'm not high. Trying to grasp the concept of a rainforest in Arizona. Yeah.
So you have to kind of displace yourself
right over that.
And imagine as if it were, because it's really hard when you're standing out there and you're looking at it, you're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And that it actually was a very lush tropical environment. Back before, all the continental shifts and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, things moved, in the millions of years since then. But the point of all of that is that this is how the petrified logs get formed. And in fact, they have a place that, and I don't know how to say this word, so I'm going to show my vulnerabilities. Is it agate or agate?
I think it's agate.
Okay. Or
that's what I think. Agate. Agate. That's what I say.
So they have this, what is agate bridge. It's either agate, whatever, bridge.
Agate.
Which
agate.
They call it that, which is basically a tree that had fallen in the water back millions of years ago. And eventually crystallized, became petrified wood, and underneath it, the water, from millions of years have washed away. They've now put a support under this because it is actually a log going over this chasm.
Wow.
Yeah. again, you have to think about, it's just like when we've talked about Devil's Tower, or we talked about, any of these other places where, or like we were talking about El Capitan, or Half Dome, about how what the world looked like
Right.
hundreds of thousands of years ago is not what we're seeing today.
Right.
So it's almost hard to imagine that all this eroding that has taken place over time has created some of these spectacular things that we can see today.
When you mentioned what was it called when the continents drifted apart?
Pangea.
Pangea. My dad he got his degree in geology, and the first time that he sat me down and explained, he showed me the globe and explained how all those. He was like, "Look at these, and they look like puzzle pieces, right?" It blew my mind when he explained to me how they had come together and drifted apart. My little 10-year-old mind was like, what?
Well, because when you really look at it, and there's tons of things you can find on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
about this
yes,
continental
it's
drift.
fascinating.
It really is, because especially if you think about where Alaska is and where Alaska was, and I mean, it is fascinating.
Yeah.
And then don't even get me started. But it's really cool. But that's why you almost have to transport yourself to that time frame when you're here in the Petrified Forest National Park, because it is unlike anything you're seeing. It was different back in the day. But the spectacularness, I don't even know if that's a word, but
it could be a word.
It's a word today.
Sure.
Of this park is you see all these pieces of petrified wood everywhere. And they have great places for you to go out and walk around and, see different things and stuff. It's the color, it's the sizes, that's all right there for you to see. And again, it's one of the largest concentrations in the world of petrified wood.
Now, how do they know? I mean, obviously we know what wood looks like. We know that when you cut a tree, there's rings. Mm-hmm. Is that how they know that this is a piece of wood as opposed to a piece of stone or rock? Or is it very obvious?
It's very obvious.
Okay, because I was saying
that it's a tree trunk.
It's kind of obvious to me that it looked like a piece of wood, but
Well, but this is where I didn't understand. When I thought of petrified wood, I thought of more like hollowed out wood, dry wood.
Oh,
right?
no, okay. Well, I didn't think that. I'm sorry. What are you thinking, man?
I think that hurt my heart. I think you just called me uneducated. Sorry. Hold on. I had to wipe the tear from my eye. I didn't know. It's okay. Don't worry about my feelings. Obviously, Monica wasn't worrying about my feelings.
I didn't mean it that way. But it's not driftwood.
Driftwood. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It was like, okay, yeah, well.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
sorry.
I didn't get that right. But I have come to appreciate more about the petrified wood, which really is this crystallization, this crystallization of all of these materials and things that settle into, like they talk about the volcanic ash, and they talk about, the things that
sediments.
That eventually just crystallize and create these logs. There is no doubt when you see them that it is very obvious that it's a tree trunk.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But one of the questions that they talk about, or that they get often, is like, why does it break up like in chunks? Like, it's like as if you had a pencil and you chunk, right? They're like, why wouldn't it crack along the seam going straight, right?
That's a valid question.
It is, but it's because it's shorter to go this way than it is to go that way, so it's easier for it to break across this way into smaller chunks. And so that's why you'll see a lot of it out there when you go to Petrified Forest. You'll see a lot of it like in nub. You'll see them everywhere. Fascinating.
Well, no, you know what it's making me think of? I don't know what it is today. I am like full of connections. Have y'all ever read A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle?
Is it nonfiction?
A Wrinkle in Time? Oh my God, it's a Newbery Award winner. You have never read A Wrinkle in Time?
Is it nonfiction?
Oh my God, it's fiction, but it's kids' fiction. You didn't read it as a kid?
No. And it's not nonfiction, so I wouldn't read it as an adult.
When the three witches, the three ladies, are talking to Megan, they're trying to explain a tesseract. She's showing a diagram where she says the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Oh.
And a tesseract is a wrinkle in time is when you bring those 2 points together and it creates the wrinkle and it shortens the path. That's a tesseract. That's a wrinkle in time. But the straightest...
That is not the Petrified Forest thing.
but the breaking of the wood...
Yes.
So it's taking the shortest... It's the
Right.
path of least resistance. Yes. It's taking the shortest point from point to point as opposed to point to point.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to read that book. Jeez.
Evidently, I need to do that and learn a few more other things. Because thanks for helping me with that, Monica. Okay, as I was saying, so you can go around, because again, there's a driving tour. One of the places is called Newspaper Rock. And the significance of this area is that there are literally like 650 petroglyphs all in this area.
Oh, wow.
And you can tell. And what's really cool, because I think I think the people who design interpretive boards I'm so happy that they know how to do those. Because what they do is you can see them out on the rocks, but then they'll do like an imprint of them so that we can actually have a version that's closer to us so we can actually see what it was that they were drawing up on the thing. And there are literally just these hundreds and hundreds of images that are on there. Now, we don't know today what the story was that maybe they were trying to tell, or maybe they were just doodling. We don't know. But it is so cool to see this type of stuff on these rocks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Speaking of petroglyphs,
yes,
we're going to be headed in that direction soon.
You might be seeing an episode.
You might be seeing an episode.
You might be. You never know.
You never know.
Okay, so then now I want to talk a little bit about this place that's there because it boggles my mind why they have it and why they're preserving it. They have a place, again, this is kind of near the entrance where you go in from the visitor center. Then you go over to where the Painted Desert is, which there is a Painted Desert Inn. So there's an actual inn there.
Oh, cool.
Sure.
Not cool?
Well, I don't understand this. This became because part of Route 66 goes through Petrified National Forest National Park. Petrified Forest National Park. So I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. It goes through, and you can take a picture, by the Route 66 sign.
Right.
But there was an inn that was built here to, a lodge for travelers.
Sure.
And there was food and stuff and a place you could stay, right? Kind of cool. But the time that they were doing this, it was already under the National Park Service as a national monument. So I'm like, why did we build a lodge for people and travelers? Because travelers would come down, at that time, I don't even know if it was I-40, maybe it was, I don't know, but it was a road. Come down there, and so it was a nice place to stop off and be able to sleep and eat and whatever. But it was just interesting because now we've got this inn out there that had fallen into disrepair. And again, we talk about how the people around the area are like, oh no, we got to keep it up. It tells stories. It's, whatever. So the National Park Service then has to start keeping up with it. And the problem is that the foundation that it sits on is on, I don't know, some version of, clay. But every time it's wet, it shrinks, it contracts, and so everything starts to crack and everything. So basically, you can still go in there today, and they've tried to do it in a Puebloan type of style, and it is a place you can go into and learn more about the history of that building from that time, back in the day when it was a lodge. It was a lodge, and people could eat, and, there was life that happened there.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it was so isolated, they had to bring in water.
Oh.
Yeah, because...
What were they thinking?
Exactly. But why would the MPS want it? Because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why it was historically significant, other than it was a part of the journey, I guess, on Route 66.
Okay.
But, yeah, so that is out there, and it's kind of cool. The thing that I liked about it is that it did tell the history about the structure and the work that had been done and the refurbishing that they've been doing, but it's ongoing maintenance because it's always going to be a problem because of the foundation that it sits on. But you get locals, indigenous folks who sell things there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so you get to see some of their works, jewelry and different things like that. You can see that there, and it's a perfect place to step outside and also see the Painted Desert and the beautiful colors.
Okay.
So it's a great place. You're going to probably stop there anyway after you do the visitor center. You're going to probably stop there. Great place to take pictures, buy some stuff from some local folks, and be able to check out the history of that particular lodge.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, it makes more sense that it would be historical because of the connection to Route 66, actually.
Yeah, they don't really, I would say they don't really actually even talk a lot about the fact that it's that Route 66 goes in there, but it does.
Okay.
In the summertime, you can get ice cream at that place too.
Oh, well, hey.
You know,
I'm definitely there then. God,
Yeah, well,
just for that. I'm
sign me up for the ice
hustling
cream.
out there, yeah.
Yeah, so in 1936 is when the National Park Service purchased, it was called the Lures Inn, I think, at that time. And it was really to kind of protect the area, which is fine. But it took a while and continues to need lots of work and all. So go there to appreciate it, but then hop back in your car and start getting around to all the different areas. And eventually, as I said, it's going to take you around. It's going to take you back across I-40 and loop around. And eventually you can get back onto I-40. So this is why I say it is a perfect place to go, to take it off the road, maybe spend a couple of hours if you just want to kind of drive and hit some of the high spots. There is hiking there too. You can do some hiking, almost like, they're not exactly great and improved trails, but there are some. And they just ask that you don't take anything from the parks.
I've never taken anything in my life.
Other than the shells, but that was a whole
Well,
other
that was
episode.
at a beach, and it wasn't at a national park.
Good point.
It was in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. My brother remembered.
He remembered.
He remembered that I did it.
How
Yes.
much it stunk.
Yes, he remembered that too.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
We're gonna have to go back and watch our episode on what was it?
I don't
Padre
know.
Island National
I
Seashore.
think it was a trail mix that we did. Or
Or
was
maybe
it on
was it a
Padre Island?
I don't know.
It was one of them.
Just go back and look at all our stuff.
There you go.
There you go.
So anyhow, this is Petrified Forest National Park. It is one of my favorite parks. It's one of my favorite parks because it is beautiful, picturesque, and the petrified wood that you see is just remarkable in color and plentiful. And if you didn't know how petrified wood was formed, you can learn all about it and be fascinated by the fact that it is over 200 million years old.
That is mind-blowing.
And that where you are standing and looking at it was once a tropical, lush environment, not located where it is today.
That is mind-blowing too.
Yeah, so that's the whole reason I would go, because that part is fascinating.
That one I'm interested in going to see.
Well, I'm so glad.
Yes.
Whew, gained a viewer on that one. All right.
Yes, I will be watching this episode.
Okay, well, I think that's about all I have to cover on that.
Okay, well, then all we're going to do is ask y'all to please subscribe.
Subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
It doesn't take long. Just
It's just
click,
a click.
Just click, boom, you're done.
Leave us a comment.
Share. Yeah, leave us a comment. Share. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Acast. We're on Amazon. We're
Anywhere
on
you want to download
Spotify,
it. Yeah.
Apple.
Download your podcast anywhere you go. You just look for us. Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks.
Look in the descriptions of the YouTube videos. Our storefront is on Zazzle. You can buy merch. That's not merch.
Oh.
That's
it is
merch.
Petrified Forest, though.
Yeah, it is Petrified Forest. And then you can also buy us a coffee. If you think that we're giving you anything of value, we would appreciate your support.
All right. Well, I think
that's
that
it.
covers it for today. Well, until next time, be sure to
Hike your own hike.
hike, and we'll check you
Bye.
later. Bye.